Hello, and thank you for joining me for this little yoga practice. My name's Mindy, and if you've joined me for classes at the rec center in the past, you know that I like to share bits of yoga philosophy with you during class. And now, when we're in this situation of quarantine, is like really great time to kind of dig into this. But first, just take your left ear over toward your left shoulder and just stretch out the side of the neck. A little side bend for the neck. And then take it the other way. Just releasing tension in the neck. And then come back up to center and take the left or the chin out over your left shoulder. Keep the shoulder squared toward the front of the mat. And just feel that little twist of the neck. Slowly move through center and take the chin out over your right shoulder, keeping shoulder squared toward the front, twisting the neck the other way. So we'll come back to center and just slowly lift the chin toward the sky, stretching out the throat. You can think of this as a little mini back bend for your neck. And then bring the chin down toward the chest, which is like a little forward bend for the neck. So just feel that nice stretch in the back of the neck. And then come on back to neutral. So take the left arm up and just lean over to the right a little bit. Nice stretch of the side body, so side bend. And then we'll inhale up and take that to the other side. Really simple movements. We're basically doing what we did with the neck, but with the rest of the spine. So we'll inhale up and bring the hands to the ground behind you, both fingertips down. And lift up through the chest and the chin. Roll the shoulders back and down. Just taking a really gentle back bend here. Just take a couple of breaths here, lifting up through the chest and the chin, keeping some space in the back of the neck. So one of the philosophical concepts in the yoga philosophy that comes from the Yoga Sutras is called aparigraha. Aparigraha means non-attachment. Bring the hands forward and fold the body forward. So in this time when things have so abruptly and without warning been taken away from us, it's really easy to realize what we are attached to. So inhale, we'll come on back up to neutral. So it's pretty clear that we're attached to things, and our attachments are what cause us suffering and anxiety and stress. So as we're wishing that we were having face-to-face classes, or we're wishing that we could hang out with friends, or we're wishing that we could take lots of trips to the grocery store, all of these things are examples of our attachments. So close your eyes and just take the arms up above your head, interlace your fingers, and just rest the hands on the top of your head. So there's a little bit of weight, and then press up with the head into the hands. So you can think of this connection between your hands and your head as an attachment. So think of something that you know for sure that you're attached to, that you can't be attached to right now, like spending time with friends, for example. And just feel how much you wish you could do that. The goal of yoga is union with our true selves, union with the part of ourselves that never changes no matter what's going on. No matter whether we can do the things we want or whether things are being forced upon us, you can still find that union with your true self, the part of you that doesn't change. And the sound of Om represents that steady vibration that runs through us at all times, that's always there and runs through all beings everywhere, all people everywhere. So we'll sing Om one time. I'll sing it. You can join me or just listen. But for me, that represents this connection that I have with myself and the connection that I have with all other beings everywhere, whether I'm with them physically or not. So if you'd like to join me, take a nice deep breath in. If you chose to sing along there, you might have even felt some vibration on the top of the head in your hands. Press a little harder with the hands and press up with the head. So there's this really strong connection between the hands and the head. And we'll keep that just a couple more breaths. One of my favorite mantras that goes with this idea of non-attachment is inhale, let, exhale, go. This one I come back to time and again. Inhale, let, nice big breath in. Exhale, go. Press up with the head, down with the hands. Inhale, let. And as you exhale, release the hands. Say to yourself, go. And let the hands just come up and around and down to the floor. Feel that nice little opening that you might feel now on the top of the head. A little bit of freedom there. And you might have this group intention for our class today. I let go of how I think things should be. Or I'm not attached to things being a certain way. Let's go ahead and find your way to hands and knees. And as you inhale, look up and let the tailbone lift up. Here's our little back bend. And as you exhale, chin to the chest, tailbone tucks under. Here's our little forward bend of the spine. Inhale back to neutral. Take the feet over to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Sink hips to the left. Keep the belly lifting up and in. Here we have a little side bend for the spine. And as you inhale, come through center. Take feet to the left. Look over left shoulder. Sink hips to right. Hips to the right. A little side bend on the other side. Inhale back to center. And exhale, find this nice sturdy tabletop there. Inhale, take your right arm up. And exhale, thread it through under your left arm. Shoulder touches the ground. Spinal twist. Twists are one of the types of postures that can kind of assist us to release and let go of our tight grasp that we have on things. This could be regarding actual things, like people are hoarding things right now, which is showing their attachment to those certain things. So we let go of that. Let's inhale and come back up to neutral. And exhale, right hand to the ground. Take inhale, left arm up. And exhale, thread it through under the right arm. Shoulder touches the ground. And we'll settle in here into this awkward spinal twist. Nice deep breath in and out. Come on back to neutral. And then shift your weight forward a little bit so your hips come in front of your knees. Look forward. Keep your shoulders back away from your ears and your elbows pointing straight back. Lower your chest and chin down. Hips stay lifted. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Point the toes, squeeze the legs together. Elbows in, shoulders back. And exhale, press your hips back and up to downward dog. Inhale, walk your feet forward toward your hands. And exhale, fold over the legs, soften the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Big stretch up, and exhale, release your hands down to your sides. So we're going to do a few little sun salutations to warm up the body. And you can do that knees, chest, chin to the cobra like we just did. But I want you, especially since you're at home today by yourself, you can really modify your practice in any way. So really trust yourself to know what to do. Trust yourself, your inner teacher, to know if you would like to do something different than what I'm saying. For example, chaturanga instead of knees, chest, chin. You go for it. Do what's right for you. Okay, stand tall at the top of the mat. Breathe in, take the arms up. Breathe out, fold forward, bend the knees, plant your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. And then breathe out, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to downward dog. Breathe in, shift forward to plank. Press forward on your toes, and then breathe out, lower knees, chest, chin, or some other way. Inhale, cobra pose, or upward dog. And exhale, press back through hands and knees to downward dog. Breathe in, walk or jump your feet forward. And breathe out, fold over the legs, softening the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, go all the way back down. Bend the knees, touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, looking up. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back to downward dog. Breathe in, shift forward to plank, press forward on your toes. Breathe out, lower down. Breathe in, lift up to cobra or maybe upward dog. And breathe out, downward dog. Breathe in and breathe out. 2 more times. I invite you to keep your eyes closed through this practice if you can. letting go of that attachment to watching and looking at how I might be doing something, and just try to follow the verbal cues. And if you need to look to see what's going on, that's great. But see if you can let go of that attachment. As you're breathing in, walk or jump the feet forward toward the hands. Breathe out, fold over the legs, soften the knees. Inhale, bring the arms forward and up. And last time through, exhale, dive down. Touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Press forward on the toes. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, scoop forward, lifting chest and shoulders and head. Exhale, press back to downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Breathe in, step or jump the feet forward, looking up, lengthening, and exhale, fold over the legs, soften knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Last time, diving forward, bend the knees, plant the hands. This time, just send your right leg back and lower that knee down. Excuse me. Okay, so you have your front knee right over your ankle, and you have your back knee a little bit behind your hip. So you have a little stretch happening in that back hip flexor. You can point your back toe if that feels okay, and you might want to tuck something under that back knee, folded blanket or towel, for a little extra padding. So this is crescent lunge. And you can keep your hands on your knees here. Actually, bring them on your hips and square your hips toward the front and kind of press the hips down. But then push up using your muscles of your legs. Push up against your hands a little bit. Pelvis is nice and neutral. And lift up through the chest. Lift the chin slightly. And then maybe if it feels okay to you, you can lift the arms as well. Crescent lunge. So the crescent moon, you can think of that crescent moon when most of it is dark. And there's that little bright crescent light. You can think of that and how you can be that. Breathe into that in yourself, that little bit of light in yourself, even when things seem kind of dark. And this is also a back bend, so feel that. Pull the belly in, support your low spine. On an exhale, bring the hands down. And take your right hand to the ground, left hand to your knee. Just look up over the left shoulder, taking a spinal twist here. You can take that left arm up if that feels good, maybe even lifting the back knee to add a little more challenge, or you can keep that back knee down. Breathe in here and breathe out. And we'll breathe in, bring the hand down, and breathe out, step that knee back. Okay, so we're going to bring the right foot forward now between the hands. Knee right over the ankle, back knee is behind the hip enough to get a little hip stretch there in the front of your hip flexor. Hands come to that front knee. So feel that sinking down, hips toward the mat. Hands come to the hips, press down. Feel that neutral pelvis, so your belly's drawing in, your tailbone is down. And press down, and then with the muscles of the legs, press up against your hands, so you feel this lifting. Roll the shoulders back, lift through the heart, lift the chin. Optional, lift the arms. So as you sink the hips down, keep drawing the belly in so you protect that low back. And just think about how things are right now, not how we want them to be. And that can make us feel like in a dark place. But let this crescent shape, let this lift through the heart, represent just a little bit of hope, of that light that is always shining there, even when most of the moon is dark. Breathe in, feel that lift in the heart, shoulders down. Breathe out, bring the hands down. Left hand to the floor, right hand to your knee. Look up over that right shoulder, pull the belly in, twist, optional, lift the right arm. Breathe in and breathe out here. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And we'll bring that right hand down and lift your back knee up and just turn to face the long side of your mat and come on up to standing. Nice wide stance here. Okay, let's turn the left toes out toward the front of your, or the end of your mat, and the right toes toward the side of your mat. And then bend into the left knee, so it's right over the ankle. This is warrior two legs, but rather than reaching our arms out, I'd love you to bring left hand facing you, right hand facing away, and just hook your fingers like this. And then bring the shoulders down, shoulder blades drawing together behind you, and pull the arms apart, even though you're gripping really tightly with the hands. And bring to mind something that you are attached to. Maybe it's, toilet paper. You wouldn't die if you didn't have any, by the way. Just saying. Maybe it's something else that you want to go over to the store and buy, and you're not supposed to do that. Hold on to it nice and tight and pull away. Take a big breath in. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. As you let go of the hands, opening the arms to that warrior two, look out over the middle finger of your left hand. A lot of times warriors have to do what they really don't feel like doing. And that's what we're being asked to do now. To protect others with whom we are connected, even though we don't maybe feel connected with them. Inhale, we'll straighten the leg, and exhale, release the hands down. We'll switch the feet. So right toes turn out, left toes turning toward the side of the mat. Bend into the right knee, hands on your hips, just like we did in that crescent lunge. Kind of press down on your hips, on your legs, but push up against that. So you have this lifting. Shoulders roll back and down. We'll bring right hand to face us, left hand to face away. Hook the fingers and pull, even as you're gripping tightly. So this idea of a parigraha, of non-grasping, of non-holding, of non-attachment. You can think, maybe you're attached to the idea that wearing a mask would look really stupid and you would feel really weird. But maybe the mask is the uniform of the warrior in this particular battle that we're fighting. So hold tight, pull, take a big breath in, inhale, let, and exhale, go. As you open the arms, look out over the middle finger of that right hand. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, release your hands down, and turn all the toes toward the side of your mat, and then heel toe the feet together. Get rid of anything you might have there in the mat, and stand nice and tall. So we're going to do a balancing twist, which is a little bit challenging, but just stand on your right foot and pick up your left knee. Just hold it. See if you can find mountain pose in your body. So roll your shoulders back and down, pull the belly in, standing nice and tall. We're going to hold the knee with the right hand. You can either hold in front of the knee or maybe on the outside of the thigh. If you're a really bendy person, you could hold on the outside of your calf, or maybe even the outside of your foot. But if that makes you bend over, then don't do that. We want to stand tall in mountain pose. All right, so you can have left hand on your hip, or maybe if you've got a wall somewhere behind you, you might put your fingers on the wall. We're going to draw this left leg across the body, standing nice and tall. Slowly bring your gaze out to the left. Looking out over that left shoulder, you might even reach your arm back to the left. Shoulders down, pressing into the floor, lifting through the crown of the head, twisting the spine. Pull your belly in on your exhales. And notice how when we twist, we get a different point of view. You're looking out over the left shoulder here, seeing things in a different way. Looking at things in a different way. Just turn the gaze back forward, untwist the body, release the posture. And shake that out a little bit, and then we'll stand on the left leg, bringing the right leg up. First, just hold and find your balance. It's helpful to stare at something that isn't moving. When we balance, I'm rolling my ankle, so maybe that would feel good to you too. Hold the leg just how you did on the other side, either in front of the knee, outside of the calf, or even the outside of the foot. Right hand to your hip. Draw this right leg across the body, and then slowly begin to turn your gaze, looking at something different, looking at something different, looking at something different. Maybe eventually looking behind you, maybe reaching out behind you, or maybe holding a wall Be tall in your mountain pose. Shoulders soft. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Standing tall. Exhale, go. Deepening your twist. Seeing things a different way. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale, release the posture. Step up to the top of your mat, face the end of your mat. Breathe in, reach up, and breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, walk the feet back. And breathe out, lower the knees down. Take the feet around to one side and sit yourself down. We'll take the feet wide. Okay. I'm just going to take a wide leg seated forward bend. So if you feel like you are leaning back and you can't really sit up straight, then it's helpful to tuck something under the hips, a book, a blanket, a folded towel, whatever it might be. So elevating the hips can make these kind of postures a little bit more accessible. Bring your fingertips beside you and press down, lifting up through the chest. So this is a bit of a hip stretch, a bit of a groin stretch, leg stretch. As you sit tall and press your belly and your chest forward, you might even feel a little tiny back bend coming into your body. If this is enough and you're feeling a big stretch already, I would not go further. If you have more space, you could bring your hands in front and even maybe walk the hands forward a bit. So let it happen for your body. Close your eyes if they've come open. There's no need to force anything here. Just allow the breath to assist your body to come into its version of the pose. See if you can keep your shoulders back a little bit, your head lifted so your feet are raising, or your toes are raising up, reaching toward your body so your legs are nice and strong. You can press your calves into the ground. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sit tall, bring your hands under the knees, lift them up. And then we're going to come onto the back. But we're going to go there nice and slowly. Okay, so we're going to go there from boat pose. So you can have your hands behind your thighs. Lean back, find your balance point. Toes can stay on the ground or near the ground, or maybe the shins come horizontal, or maybe your legs straighten all the way. But we're going to slowly open up this boat. Keep that core nice and strong. Make sure it's not all dumping into your low back. Slowly lowering down all the way, eventually all the way down to the mat. And then bend your knees and bring your feet closer to your body. I hope that you have a book or a yoga block or a folded towel or a blanket or something that you can tuck under your hips here. If you don't, it's fine. I'm going to have you lift the hips and slide a block, a nice thick book or a folded towel or blanket underneath the sacrum, this flat bone at the base of the spine. And just feel that. It's a little bit of a supported bridge pose, a supported back bend. You can have your feet hip width apart, right under the knees, maybe even a little bit in closer to your body if you like. Hands on the ground next to your hips. You can tuck the shoulders a little bit, the shoulder blades underneath you a little bit. And just feel this shape in the body with support. Know that you're not alone, even if you're physically alone in this moment. It's okay to ask for support or accept support if you're feeling like having a really hard time with everything that's going on. Whoever you reach out to will be very grateful that you reached out. And if you're not having a bad time, then maybe you could reach out to someone else just to check on them. Even if you're not seeing others physically, you can connect in some way. From here, we're going to lift the feet up toward the ceiling. We'll take maybe about 5 conscious breaths here. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Bend the knees with your exhale. Bring the feet back down to the ground. Lift your hips. Remove the block or the blanket or the book. And if you didn't have anything there, obviously you're already ready to go. Let's take your right ankle over your left knee. And then lift your left foot up. Reach behind your left thigh. And just draw this left leg in toward the body as your elbow gently presses your knee away from the body. So your shin is kind of parallel to your chest. And you can keep your shoulders and head relaxed here as you stretch the hip, or you can reach your forehead up toward your shin to bring a little more core work into it. But it does take a little bit of the stretch away from the hip when you round your back. So notice that. And notice if you lay the head and shoulders down flat on the mat and press your tailbone down toward the mat, bringing a little arch into the back, you increase that stretch on the hip. One more inhale. And as you exhale, release this posture. We'll switch sides, left ankle over right knee. Lift right foot, reach behind the thigh, draw it in. You can flex those left toes back toward your knee to protect the knee and ankle from twisting. So as you draw this right leg towards you, your elbows gently pressing left knee away. So your shin is kind of parallel to your body. You can keep the head and shoulders relaxed. Or if you lift it up on the other side, maybe lift it up, reaching forehead toward the shin. Little tiny bit more core work for the end of our practice here. Noticing how the stretch on the hip is less when your back is rounded. Maybe release your shoulders and head down, press your tailbone down, lifting the lower back off the ground. Feel that bigger stretch on the hip. Inhale and exhale, release. And then hug your knees in. And find your way back up to a comfortable seat, maybe rocking up or rolling to one side and sitting up. And if you need to elevate the hips like we did before, that can feel kind of nice. So we are going to sit here for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, practicing not reacting to our desires. So when you take a seat and you feel like, oh yeah, I'm pretty comfortable here, as soon as we say don't move, you're going to probably want to move. So close your eyes and sit tall. And relax your shoulders down, relax your face. And then just breathe here, observing the sensations in your body. Maybe you have an itchy nose because of allergies, or maybe you have an achy knee or something. See if you can just observe sensations without reacting to them, without moving. Try to be completely still, except for your breath. And you might continue with that mantra. Inhale as you inhale and say let. Exhale, say to yourself go. As you let go of sensations, you let go of your desire to react to sensations. Sometimes you might even notice that, for example, if you have an itch and you don't scratch it, you just observe it, it will go away. Sometimes it takes longer than a minute though, and I don't want to make this video too long. So I encourage you to do this practice at other times, practicing not reacting, so that you can also practice not doing the things that you want to do that you can't do right now because of the quarantine. Okay, so go ahead and release that. Find your way down onto your back and find a really comfortable seat. A really comfortable position, I mean to say. So since you are at home alone by yourself, you can support your body with pillows or blanket, covering you up, whatever would make you really comfortable here. You can keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor. If you're doing that, I would separate the feet a little bit so the knees can kind of rest inward. Or you stretch your feet out toward the corners of your mat, turning the palms up, nice open posture. So I personally believe that this posture, Shavasana or corpse pose, is one of the most important postures in the yoga practice. It is when we truly let go of any physical effort. We let go of any feelings of achievement or lack of achievement in our yoga practice. And we let go of any mental efforts as well. If your mind is still really, really active and it's bothersome to you, you might just come back to that mantra of inhale, let, and exhale, go, as you relax the feet and the legs and the hips, the torso, shoulders, arms and hands. Relaxing the muscles around the eyes and the muscles of the jaw. Maybe even allowing your lips to part. Relaxing the tongue, allowing it to sink back in the mouth. And just allow benefits of this practice to soak into you. If you'd like to stay here for a while, which I think is a great idea, then I encourage you to press pause for a second, stop the video so that you can stay here longer. But I don't want the video to be too long. So I'm going to bring you out in just a moment. Come back to the awareness of the breath. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, following your own intuition, your inner teacher, to move the body in any way that feels good to you. Taking your time, eventually bending the knees and rolling over to one side, resting in a fetal position. Every moment we have the opportunity to begin again. So if you feel yourself getting frenzied, or if you feel yourself getting really upset about something, then you just come back, reboot yourself, maybe do a yoga practice or some deep breathing, and begin again. We'll press into the ground, bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you find a little bit of peace and a little bit of beauty in each day as we all struggle through this time, apart but together. Bring your hands together in front of the heart and let the thumbs rest against your chest, and bring your chin down, just bowing to yourself. Appreciating this little bit of time that you've had to step away from the life as you step onto the yoga mat.